What is up, y'all? It is Comfy and a video of r/entitled people. This subreddit was suggested by someone in my Discord, so if you want to join my Discord for early access to future videos or suggest future videos, it will be in the description for you guys. And that's enough plugging, so I hope you guys do enjoy the video. The owner said you would do this for me. So, last year I worked for my cousin in her little hole-in-the-wall cafe from February to November. She had been open 8 months before I started helping and closed in November due to a terminal illness, but I digress. Every Wednesday we served pea soup and dumplings. Google it if you do not know what that is. Wednesdays were our busiest days because everyone who worked in the mall where the cafe was loved it. And it was the only place in town you could get homemade besides your own home. We're a small town. Anyways, this lady started showing up every Wednesday for about 4 months before we closed down. She was always ordering pea soup and demanded to be served first despite the cafe being filled with other people who had ordered it before her. She always demanded there be no carrots or turnip because no one puts carrots or turnip in pea soup. I remembered my cousin telling her that might not be doable because we are very busy. The lady got close to the counter and said very loudly, "The owner said you would do this for me." My cousin, never one to take lies, said, "Ma'am, I am the owner and have said no such thing. We will try our best, but as I said, we are very busy." The lady nodded and went back to sit down and wait for her food after paying for it. She tried to do the same trick of, "But the owner said," multiple times in me when my cousin wasn't there due to health reasons. But I told her the same thing, we were busy. About the 8th or 9th time she tried the same thing, I just said, "Ma'am, the owner is my cousin. I was here when she told you she had said no such thing." We have never had to deal with her asking for no carrots or turnip in her pea soup ever again. Thank God. We also got no complaints from anyone else about our food besides one person, but that's a story for another post. Can't you just imagine telling the owner that the owner said she would do something for you and then realizing that's the owner you're talking to? What a position to be in. And in fact, even after being put in that position, she continued to tell people that the owner said something for her. What a legend. Just a legend in all of its glory. Psych. I took your dog because you let me play with her, so I guess she's mine too. This is kind of a long one. I apologize for any mistakes in advance. It is not my first language. As a side job, I used to shovel driveways and occasionally babysit / take care of plants while they were away for people in my neighborhood. This was a good way to earn pocket change as well as become friendly with neighbors, especially the sweet guy who lived across the street from me, as he was very nice and tipped generously. One day his niece started to visit and stay over our house for days at a time. She will be named EC, entitled child. At the time, she was about my age, and we got along very well. She was kind of quirky and a bit stubborn at times, but it never really bothered me. I don't know a lot about her family life, but I figured there was something wrong since she told me the reason she visited her uncle a lot was because she didn't get along with her parents. She didn't seem to be mean and spirited, and we're only 13-ish, so I figured the problem was on the parents' end. Now I'm not so sure. This happened 5 years ago. At the time, I had a small dog named Lucky, who had also been acquainted with EC as well. When we hung out all together, EC often told me how Lucky calmed her down and comforted her. She would always talk about how her anxiety and a lot of other mental issues she dealt with. Although I didn't deal with those sort of things at the time, I understood the comfort that a friendly animal provided, and it was comfortable enough with EC to sometimes let her take Lucky on short walks when I was busy with homework, or occasionally even let Lucky hang out at her place when I wasn't there. We were that close. A year passed, then it went downhill fast. She called me during school hours multiple times in a row, like 15 times in just under a few minutes. I figured it was an emergency because that was the only reason anyone ever called that phone, since it was one of those simple flip phones with no other real use. She asked me if she could play with my dog while I was away at school. I think it was a Friday, and apparently that meant her parents didn't make her go to school on those days. This was the first time she asked me if she could bring my dog to her place, as in her uncle's place, while I was away, but never with such stubbornness. This was usually also discussed in advance. Nonetheless, I was a naive person, and she must have put up a good case, because I allowed it. The day was almost over anyways. After school, I came to her uncle's, and she told me that we went back to her parents' place, with my dog, with her parents that I had never met, but only had glimpses of when they picked her up and dropped her off. Her parents that were made out to be incredibly dysfunctional. I was not about to let her keep my baby there. I called her like a million times until she finally picks up. Obviously, I don't remember the conversation, but here's a rundown to make things quicker. Well, why are you calling me? I'm not allowed to talk and use my phone in the car. Why are you in the car? And where's my dog? What? I'm just getting McDonald's. She's at home. Straight up took my dog and just left her alone in a new environment. I can't. I didn't say you could bring my dog to your place. Yeah, you did. I called you like an hour ago about it. Then she explained to her how she met her uncles, which meant four. So what? It's not like we're strangers. I don't know your parents. You can call them later. I have to go. After this, I am fuming. The uncle looks at me with sympathy, almost like he suspected entitled child was tricking me all along. He said he wouldn't mind driving me off to their place to get back lucky, since their house wasn't too far, like 30 minutes away. But I declined and said I had to go tell my mom first. My parents were just as shocked as I am. Since we were all under the pretense that she was just playing along with my dog across the street, my dad did not want me to be driven by the neighbors since he had already felt so betrayed. We drove there ourselves. We get there before they do. We waited only a few minutes before they turned in. I asked my dad to stay in the car while I went to talk to them. I immediately asked to see my dog, but he sees not having it. What the heck? Why are you here? You can't just take Lucky. She's my dog too. No, she's not. And I did not say you could bring my dog here. Yes, you did. And I'm basically her, Lucky's mom, too. You're being selfish. Her mom comes out of the car and looks completely surprised and confused. Surprisingly, she seemed really normal. Not at all like the image I had in my mind. She asked us what the problem was, and I began to explain until E.T. started to wail and get antsy. You're making me have a panic attack. I just want my dog back. Entitled mom's child. I thought you both shared the dog. Can't you just hold on to her for the weekend? No, she is my dog and only my dog. I do not share her with anyone. Noticing the commotion, my dad came out and began to explain the situation. Mother just seemed bewildered over everything while Ashley stopped freaking out. Probably because my dad is a very assertive person and kind of intimidating. He has smoothed it over misunderstandings to spare her feelings and confronting her. I don't remember most of it. I just remember the mom opening the door for me and getting Lucky back in the backseat of the car, which she immediately leaped into, by the way, and soothing her. I didn't expect to see EC again, since I made it very clear I was angry at her. But a day later, her mom drove her over to my house to explain the situation and misunderstanding. I apologized too for the sake of her pride, since she seemed very upset still. I'm sorry for misleading her. We went mostly our separate ways. I occasionally see her when I help out her uncle, and sometimes I even let her pet my dog when we walk by. There is no real malice between us, but it's definitely a bit awkward. Dog napping is quite the fun thing to do, so if you guys haven't tried it, I do have a video that I can link in the description about how to properly steal a dog. Pretty much you want to manipulate the person into thinking that you're just having the dog over at your house for a little bit. I know it sounds very messed up, but it's truly gonna work, because then you'll be able to take him to the house, your real house, by the way, and as you can tell, it almost worked. Apart from she was caught. You're not supposed to get caught. In fact, you're supposed to run really far away, and for a really long time, you're never supposed to be caught again. Like, It's like running from the police. You change your identity, change your name, change your hair color, change your nose, remove your arms, whatever you do to hide. And that's how you properly dog nap a person. Or a dog. Sorry. McDonald's employee screams at me because I said you shouldn't do that to my brother. So it's 2013. Oh, that was a long time ago. Me equals me. My brother equals BR. Battle Royale. And my mom's friend is MF. There's also other things that have MF as an abbreviation, but we're not going to talk about that. We just watched Escape from Planet Earth in the theaters, so we were a little hungry. And we went to McDonald's after the movie. The McDonald's over by my house has a play place, and it's pretty fun for a little kid. And while I was 12, getting a little too old for it, I loved going into it anyways. We got to the restaurant, ordered our food, ate food, and me and my bro went into the play place, PP. Again, not a very good abbreviation, but we're not going to judge. We had some fun, and while the other kids, we were playing cops and robbers. We're fast crawling through the area. Whew, we got a savage. R/Mad Lads. Wrong subreddit, man. I'm telling you. That's when the employee, EMP, comes, who is a janitor at McDonald's. We were having fun, being quick and running down the slides and going up the platforms, when EMP climbed into the play place. I feel awkward saying PP. Sorry. Stop! You are all being too fast. You need to calm down. Someone's going to get hurt. Despite the fact that we weren't being really fast crawling, isn't the fastest way to travel, we all complied and stopped playing. I kept going up and down the slides and stuff when my brother continued to mess around. Just a quick note, that's a really important in this story. My brother has SOD, or septic optic dysplasia, meaning he has severe issues with vision and has sight and mental disability. He was 8 at this time. Brother, hey me, I got you. What? You're arrested. Makes handcuffing noise. Brother, you shouldn't do that. And that's when everything broke loose. The EMP storms back into the play place and starts screaming at me. Excuse me? What did I do? I heard you say you shouldn't do that. We were just Don't lie to me. I know you're lying. You're horse playing again. But, scared to death because she won't stop yelling at me and keeps cutting me off. EMP, shut your mouth. I'm a mother. I have kids. R/entitled parents bonus point. I know when a kid is lying. I'm not lying. Yes, you are. Get down here now. I'm shaking. Cannot move. I slowly get down. Now. I got down. Everything in the room is dead silent. Everyone was staring at us as I hit ground level. Then EAP yanks my arm back into the dining area. I'm on the brink of crying. EMP, where are your parents? Points to MF. EMP leads me to MF. He's been out of control and could have hurt someone of the other kids out there. MF, I don't think he's been too crazy. I've seen him in there. They're not being crazy. Where's your brother? Shamefully points at BR, who is watching from the top of the play place. EMP goes back into the play place, and I can hear the entire scene. Get out! Get out! I don't know what happened next, but I believe my brother has his bad vision. I actually started going up. Next thing you know, I hear a smacking noise. Are you blind? Get out. I can't. What do you mean you can't get out? Get the bleep out. The room gasps. At this point, EMP has gone off the deep end, and BR comes out crying with a red wrist. EMP must have slapped it. EMP, you are banned from going back in there. Absolutely horrible behavior. I think you're being a little too harsh, says Mom. EMP ignored us and continued to clean up. Brother is crying. I'm trying not to cry. The other kids were in the play place quickly got out as EMP scared them really badly. We left immediately and got back into the car. I burst into tears and I couldn't stop for a good half hour. Even crying by the time we got back home, we even told our parents everything. Later on that day, we got an email from MF. She went back to the McDonald's to talk to the manager about what happened. It turns out EMP was already fired, and she left in tears. They were also planning on pressing charges on her for assaulting BR. We never went back to the McDonald's, and that was the last time I was in the play place. EMP got herself fired and scarred me and my brother for life. All because I said you shouldn't do that. Well, you shouldn't do a lot of things. For example, choose these abbreviations. It's very misleading. Just like the last post about telling her the dog person can keep the dog for a little while. Very, very misleading. Just kidding, that last story was not misleading at all. He was just tricked. But it doesn't matter. I don't know. The story looks kind of fake. But then again, there are a lot of crazy people who go to McDonald's, who work at McDonald's, because the majority of them are teenagers. Except this is the mom, so it now trips me out even more. But I think that might add to the realness, the legitimacy of the story. Not questioning it very much, but I mean, you make your own decision in the comments. Thank you all for watching towards the end. Was it a great day, night, time, whenever you're watching this, wherever you're watching this. If you're watching this right before bed at night, think about what you could do this on the next assembly at your school. I know it's a long shot, but you should try to play my quality content on the big screen, the projector, so everyone at your school can hear it. Guarantee you'll make you the most popular kid at school because you're playing legit quality content. I'm 25% sure this will happen. You'll become famous. But don't take my word on it because 25% is not enough to get me sued yet. This video was released to my Discord 30 minutes before YouTube. Maybe you guys should join my Discord. It's in the description. I'm done plugging my Discord for future episodes. I'm just going to leave it in the description. Is what you think.